Welcome back, fishing friends, to another adventure. Alright guys, today we're fishing the famous Red River. So I'm going to throw the Mepps with a little spark shad. And I'm already hooked up. Look at this, a striper. All right. Check that out. Let's get him in the sun. There we go. Right there. Check him out. So just on this spark shad on a Mepps spinner on the Bass X 6'8", 15-pound braid, 15-pound floral. That was on the fall. I thought it was a snag at first. Here on the famous Red River. Good stuff, off to a good start. I have no idea what the depth is here. I'm trying to gauge it, but we'll see. Hey, if you're new to the channel, thanks for stopping by. I appreciate all the support. So this is my first time to fish like the legit Red River. So hopefully we'll get a few more. Yeah, so 15-pound braid, 15-pound fluorocarbon leader. And this is just a Mepps single hook, and I put a spark shad, like a 3-inch spark shad on the back of it. So temperature's about 45. Kind of a calm morning, not all crazy windy. Alright guys, it feels like we're hooked up again. On the Mepps with the spark shad. There we go. There we go. That's another striper. Let's get this hook out. Nothing too fancy, just that single hook from the Mepps. There we go. Boy, she's all chipped up and losing her paint, but man, this thing is getting the job done. The key thing is I gotta let it get down to the bottom. It's hard to judge the depth here because of all these crazy rocks and stuff like that. So I'm not cranking it too quick, just a nice, easy, slow crank. Then I let it just dip down. Because on the fall, man, this thing looks phenomenal. All right, so we got a couple of them. Yeah, it's really calm and peaceful today, finally. The last couple days, the wind's been blowing so dang hard, you hadn't been able to do much. Testing some lures out, guys. This one's an Ott's Garage Tiny 7 OG. From Ott Defoe. Looks pretty good. It's in a shad color. Nice little breeze starting to pick up. It's just a perfect day to be out here. Hopefully we'll get something to hammer this. saw a bass come up to the surface down here about 20 yards, and I pitched a little surface lure at him. He came up and looked at it, but he wouldn't hit it. He just kind of glanced at it. So I reeled it in super slow, and I cast it over there again. Nothing. Look at that, it just suspends there. Oh man, this is just such a cool lure. These, the Baglies, Bombers, and the Berkeley Frittside. If you want to know some good crankbaits. And then there's two really good ones, the 6 Cents Curve 55, and then the RK Crawler, Rock Crawler 50 and 55. Just absolutely lethal. So that side is Oklahoma. This side is Texas right here. It's a pretty cool little watershed. Definitely one of the major rivers in the U.S. Such a cool place. Seeing the geese and different birds fluttering by. So I've just been walking up and down the shoreline. You can see this shoreline. See, this river can get all the way up to the, you see the tree line there and even here. But there is some depth here. You can kind of see down there how deep it is. When I was scoping this out, I was like, man, there's no water in here. It's going to be like 2 feet deep, 3 feet deep. And I've caught smallmouth in really shallow water up in Iowa. And I was like, well, wait a minute. I know how to fish shallow. I can do that here. Some herons over there squawking at each other. OG Tiny 7 by Rapala from the Ott's Garage, the Ott Defo, depending on how you want to say it, but he's a pro angler and he makes a ton of his own bait, balsa baits, and he got into this with Rapala. It's got this circuit board bill, which is really durable. It's in that shad pattern, and on the belly, oops, this way. I don't know if you can see Ott's Garage, Deep Tiny 07. Good stuff. only thing now is I need a fish. Man, those stinking herons are like fighting it out over there. There's like 4 of them. They're all squawking at each other, chasing each other. What I need is a nice big striper or a bass, smallie. To come up and just crush this. Back end of a full moon, so if you believe in that kind of thing for fishing cycles, I know a lot of people do, get out there and get your fishing in. God, this thing is just cool. Look at that, those stupid birds are still squawking and chasing. Alright guys, so I was throwing that Haute Default Rapala. This one's a Berkeley Fritzside, clicking Fritzside, size 5 in a shad color. A little bit different bill. So, little bit different. Looks good. It's got some good weight to it, so that's what we're here for, to test lures. I love testing them. I got a whole bunch of stuff with gift cards this year, so of course I want to test out these lures. Now a lot of times you don't see that in the videos because I don't want you to get bored to death, but every once in a while I'll explain a thing or two. Oh yeah. God, this thing is just epic like the other one. It just suspends there. Golly. Guys, I'm such a nerd, a fishing nerd when it comes to lures and stuff. This is the Berkeley Clickin' Fritzside. After Mr. Fritz himself. God, this thing just digs down. So I kind of let it pause there for a little bit in case a fish swims over to look at it, figure out what that knocking is. A lot of times with crankbaits and square bills, I don't mind if they crash in at the bottom and kick up a bunch of stuff for traction now. This isn't really the optimal time to throw these because we're in the winter, but I'm still throwing them because I want to test them out, you know. And our climate here is mild enough where, I mean, the water temperatures are in the mid to high, well, mid 50s. But for me, a lot of times it's just fun, just throwing the lures. What do they say? That insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. A lot of times I'm doing insanity because I love just throwing a lure and working it for a good 30, 45 minutes to an hour. I mean, yeah, I'll move back and forth, but I gotta just so I can figure it out, you know, and then from then on out, see, you have your confidence built in it. No. Am I stuck down there? Dang it. No. It's not the hooks. I think he just got wedged in between 2 rocks. Yep. No. I got him. Whew. He gotten wedged in there. Jeez Louise. Look at that. Cast a country mile. God, that looks phenomenal. Alright guys, so if you're looking for some lures, some crankbaits, here you go. Anything in the OG Ott's Garage series, the Clickin' Fritzide, 5.6, anything from Bomber. I mean, there's tons of companies, but the ones that I've used consistently, like Bomber, man, the Flat A, any of the series, except for a long A, I've never really tested that. And then the Rock Crawler, oh, Curve 55. I don't have any Curve 55s with me today, but I do have a Rock Crawler I'm going to throw, some Bombers. Alright guys, I'm throwing this sugar shad. Oops, did it get kinked up? Ah, it hooked into some cabbage is what the deal is. Alright, so this one has a shimmy when it falls. It's got a nice knocking sound to it. But it has a cool shimmy on the way down. It's got great color. And of course, it's got that typical vibrating of a lipless crankbait. This one I'm just doing a steady retrieve just to test it out here. Ooh, that thing looks good. Yep, it's got a nice shimmy when it falls. What do I got? Some cabbage on here. Need somebody to come up and just crush this. Golly, that looks good. Whew. All right, we're gonna move down here. Boy, this thing is an epic looking lure. So I'm gonna come down to this spot. Bombs away, and then we'll work our way back. We have our little casting rock here. There we go. Here we go, guys. There we go. We got a runner. We got a runner. But just crushed it. We got a runner. Well, this is a good sized fish, guys. This thing's got some weight to it. Boy, whatever this is, it just freaking crushed it. I can't tell. What in the heck? It looks like a carp or drum. Check it out. It's a carp that I fell hooked on my forehead. How in the heck did he get fell hooked? This is going to be tricky to try to get this. He's a big fish. There we go. Self-release. Thank you, Mr. Carp. Look at him. He goes down into the inky depths. Holy cow, guys. What a weird... That was pretty cool. I was thinking I hooked into him. Well, it was a monster, but I was thinking I hooked into like a huge striper or a monster bass. That was pretty cool. I don't know. Some people don't count those as a catch. I don't know. You hook it, you catch it. That's the way I look at it. Foul hooked, fell hooked. That was weird how it got right on his head. I think he went up to investigate it and then he just popped it. So the sugar shad hooks up the biggest fish of the day. All right, guys, we're gonna throw this little jointed swim bait. This is from Weston, I'm pretty sure, and it's I don't know what they call them, glide baits. Not a glide bait, wake bait maybe, I don't know. Anyway, it's got the modified hooks on there, so I know it looks weird with the hooks like that, but it does help with keeping it from getting snagged. And it also, oh yeah, that looks good. It you can catch fish on them just fine. So I lost the other little, dang, that, the sugar shad. I got a whole bunch of them, so it's not that big of a deal, but they don't make them anymore, so I have to kind of look on eBay for them. So if you're looking for a Pretty cool little lipless crankbait. There you go. Sometimes they come up every once in a while, but that color right there is a good color. I've got some shiner shad color patterns. Oh, this little thing right here, guys. It's got a weird fall and it swims really good. So I got this from Weston a few years ago, and I think it was a mystery tackle box, one of those Catch Co things. I'm pretty sure it was from Weston. They're out of somewhere in Europe, Finland maybe, but they got a bunch of cool baits for over in Europe. Some of them you can't get here. I've been trying to get a couple of these minnows they have. Oh yeah, this thing looks good. So this is, you know, fishing, we all want to catch fish. Of course we do. But I'm telling you guys, lure testing is one of my favorite things. I know it gets really bored and it doesn't make for good YouTube footage, but I'm such a fishing nerd. I get all geeked out on testing new stuff. I just have so much fun doing it. Now this one I've fished a lot of times before, so I've already tested it, but I just want to throw it here, see what we can get. Got that nice swimming action. You can kind of feel it. Just a couple of pops and twitches and it does look like a good bait fish. I just need to slow it down a little. It's a new trend now. I notice people are throwing these giant swim baits and glide baits and wake baits and all that kind of stuff. Those trends kind of make their way back because it was about 10 years ago people were chucking big baits like that. Guys, I'm going to throw this 6 cents Provoke jerk bait. It's got a cool action in the water. And the color is really nice. So we're gonna bomb this out there a few times. It's like a bullet when it goes out there. Wintertime's a good time to use a crankbait, especially up north when it's colder. Down here, you know, it's still productive. I mean, year round. That's one thing, is that I don't really like to pigeonhole certain baits, certain times of years. If just use them and have fun. It's got a perfect suspend to it. It just slowly creeps up to the surface. They got a bunch of different colors. 6 cents is out of the Lake Conroe area, or down in south central Texas. I think that's Lake Conroe in that area maybe. Yeah, I think that's it, Lake Conroe. Houston area maybe. I'll have to look that up, but they're definitely in here in Texas. Well guys, our fantasy football wrapped up and I finished right in the middle of the pack. Game or two, actually, a game or two under 500. Should have done much better, but you know how you just, anything can happen with those. All right, guys, gonna get something to eat, and then we're gonna go explore location number 2, and we can always come back here if need be. I gotta go check out this other spot. Anyway, so I'll see you over there. All right, guys, throwing a lipless crankbait, the rattle trap, seeing what we can find out here. Seems like there is quite a few rock. Bunch of chunk rock. There's some cool little fossil formations in it though. So hopefully we'll catch a fish over here. Just on this little purple one. Trying to figure out where the rock ledges are and all that good stuff, because man, this is like tricky stuff here. All right guys, I bombed a silver red eye one spot, cotton cordell I think is what it is, lipless, real shiny. We'll see if we get any takers. Ooh, I felt the thump there. Was that a rock? I think it was a rock. That's what I'm bombing right there. Hopefully we'll get something. Check out that big yacht, guys. Out on the lake here. Look at the wake that thing leaves. Throwing a big Joshy 6-inch swim bait. Through all the blade baits, nothing. Through the chatter baits, nothing. So nothing since this. I walked kind of in and around there, and then I walked further back that way. This is the best spot to get your line out. But this big Joshy looks excellent, just like a big fat shad. So peaceful out here. Uh-oh. We have to do one more cast. Ooh. Jeez. That's from that big boat. It's a good thing I got out of there. Holy cow. Okay, my rods and my gear are okay. It's a little bit damp. All right, so now I got the smaller big Joshy. This is like the 3-inch. So we'll bomb it a couple times. Then I gotta clear out. Let me know what you've been throwing this December, guys, if you've been catching anything. Drop a comment down there what you're gonna do for New Year's, what kind of stuff you're gonna, or what kind of stuff you got for Christmas, all that good stuff. All right, guys, that's gonna wrap it up for today. Thanks for hanging out with me. Hey, and Happy New Year, everyone. Happy New Year. Hey, until next time, I will see you then. Bye-bye.